What is principles of animation? This is what the unit number 4 is going to talk about. We heard about squash, stretch, staging and principles. All these terms are used in the principles of animation. Let's see what these details will carry for us in unit number 4.
Hello everyone. Today we'll explore the foundational 12 principles of animation developed by Disney legends Ollie Johnston and Frank Thomas. These principles bring motion to life, ensuring your work resonates with realism and creativity. By understanding these principles, you can bring that same magic to your own animations, no matter your skill level. So, whether you're a total beginner or a seasoned pro, get ready to unleash your inner animator. Let's dive into some key principles that shape great animation. First up is squash and stretch, a principle that gives flexibility, weight, and realism to your creations. This technique is fundamental in animation as it helps convey the physical properties of objects and characters, making them appear more lifelike and dynamic. And think of it like this. When a ball hits the ground, it squashes down. This squashing effect shows the impact and force of the collision, giving the ball a sense of weight and substance. And when it bounces back up, it stretches out. This stretching action illustrates the energy and momentum as the ball rebounds, making the motion appear more fluid and natural. These adjustments bring objects to life while preserving their volume. By maintaining the object's volume, you ensure that the animation remains believable and consistent, even when exaggerated. Imagine a character taking a big leap. With squash and stretch, you can emphasize the force of their jump by squashing them down low before they launch into the air. This not only highlights the power behind the jump, but also adds a playful and engaging quality to the animation. So, don't be afraid to play around with squash and stretch. It's all about finding that sweet spot between exaggeration and realism. Experiment with different levels of squash and stretch to see how it affects the overall feel of your animation. The more you practice, the better you'll get at striking that perfect balance. Next up is staging, which focuses on presenting ideas clearly. Think of it like setting the stage for a Broadway show. You want everything to be in the right place so the audience can follow along. Good staging uses composition, lighting, and camera angles to guide the viewer's attention. For example, the silhouette of a character's pose should be recognizable, even without details. Experiment with different camera angles, play with lighting, and make sure your characters are positioned in a way that tells a story. Remember, good staging enhances what's already there and makes everything look even more amazing. Anticipation sets the stage for an action, making it feel natural and believable. Think of a character bending their knees before jumping or pulling back their arm before a punch. Without anticipation, movements can feel abrupt and unconvincing. Let's say you have a character who's about to win a race. Instead of just having them cross the finish line, use anticipation to build up the excitement. Have them lean forward, their muscles tense, their eyes focused on the prize. Anticipation is all about teasing the audience, giving them a taste of what's to come. Now let's talk about straight-ahead action versus pose-to-pose. Straight-ahead action involves animating frame by frame for fluid, dynamic motion. Great for things like fire or smoke. Pose-to-pose focuses on keyframes first, perfect for planned, precise actions. Most animators combine both techniques for the best results. Use straight-ahead action for loose, expressive moments and pose-to-pose for structured, planned actions. Experiment and find what works best for you. There's no right or wrong way to animate, as long as you're having fun and bringing your vision to life. Ease in and ease out, also known as slow in and slow out, is all about creating smooth transitions by gradually accelerating and decelerating motion. This technique is essential in animation to make movements appear more natural and less mechanical. Think of it like driving a car. You don't just slam on the gas or the brakes. A car builds momentum or slows down gracefully. This gradual change in speed is what makes the ride comfortable and realistic, and the same principle applies to animation. Adding this principle to your animations creates more realistic and polished movements. When characters move with ease in and ease out, their actions feel more lifelike and believable, enhancing the viewer's experience. Imagine a character reaching for a cup of coffee. With ease in and ease out, their hand will slowly start to move, gradually pick up speed, and then gently come to a stop as they grasp the cup. This subtle change in motion can make a significant difference in how the action is perceived. Embrace the power of ease in and ease out. It can make a world of difference in your animations. By incorporating this technique, you can transform stiff and robotic movements into fluid and dynamic actions, bringing your characters and scenes to life in a way that captivates and engages your audience. To add fluidity and realism to your animations, embrace the power of follow-through and overlapping action. These principles are essential in making your characters feel alive and dynamic. Follow-through is like the afterparty of an action. When a character stops running, their hair or clothes might continue moving slightly. This subtle continuation of motion adds a layer of believability and helps the audience feel the weight and momentum of the character. Overlapping action creates a sense of rhythm and flow. Imagine a dog's wagging tail while it runs. The tail doesn't just stop when the dog does, it continues to move, creating a natural and engaging motion that draws the viewer's eye. It's those little secondary movements that add so much life and personality to your animations. These movements can be anything from a character's hair swaying as they turn their head to the way their clothes flutter as they walk. Think of it like this. If your character is a beautiful gown, follow-through and overlapping action are the accessories that complete the look. They add the finishing touches that make your animation stand out and feel complete. Embrace the power of follow-through and overlapping action and watch as your creations come to life with a whole new level of realism and charm. By paying attention to these details, you can transform a simple animation into a captivating and immersive experience for your audience. Arcs are the secret to creating movement that feels natural and organic. Most actions in real life follow curved trajectories, not perfectly straight lines. These arcs enhance the lifelike quality of animations, making them feel more fluid and believable. There are times when you might want to break this principle intentionally. Like if you're going for a comedic effect or trying to create a robotic character. But for the most part, embracing arcs will make your animations look and feel so much better. Secondary action is like the supporting cast of your animation. It's all about those little details that complement the main action, adding depth and richness to your scenes without stealing the show. If a character is walking, their arms swinging or head bobbing supports the primary motion without overshadowing it. These subtle details breathe life into animations, making them feel more realistic and engaging. Timing controls the rhythm of an animation, the pacing of the story, the emotions you convey. Fewer frames create quick, snappy actions, while more frames slow things down for dramatic effect. Mastering timing is like mastering the art of comedic timing. It's all about knowing when to pause, when to speed things up, and when to let a moment breathe. Experiment with different timings, play around with the number of frames, and see how it affects the overall feel of your animation. Once you start paying attention to timing, you'll see a huge difference in your work. Exaggeration is about pushing movements and expressions beyond reality, making your characters more expressive and engaging. A surprised character might have their eyes widen disproportionately for added impact, or a character jumping for joy might leap 3 times their height. Embrace the power of exaggeration and watch as your animations become more dynamic, more expressive, and oh so entertaining. Solid drawing is like the foundation of a house. In animation, solid drawing means understanding the basics of form, weight, volume, and anatomy. It's about creating characters and objects that feel real and believable, even if they're completely imaginary. You don't have to be a master artist to have solid drawing skills. It's all about understanding the basic principles and applying them to your work. Even the most amazing animation will fall flat if the drawings aren't solid. Practice your skills and watch as your animations become more realistic, more believable, and oh so stunning. Appeal is that special something that makes your animations magnetic. It's the charisma of your characters, the overall visual attractiveness of your work. Characters with appeal are easy to read, interesting to look at, and they draw you in with their personality. Create characters with clear silhouettes, expressive eyes, and engaging designs. Use color, shape, and movement to your advantage. Pour your heart and soul into creating characters that are appealing, engaging, and unforgettable. In conclusion, these 12 principles, like squash and stretch, timing and anticipation, are the backbone of compelling animation. Mastering them helps you create motion that captivates and engages audiences, bringing your stories to life. Animation is a journey, not a destination. Be patient with yourself, embrace the learning process, and never stop experimenting. Thank you for joining me, and I look forward to your questions. Now go out there and create some animation magic.